to the next one. You are here. Okay.
Ready for battle.
Have you ever been the eldest son?
Barrier up.
And just by the way that this is going to work, I'm definitely not going to get to everyone.
That I cannot manage.
That's kind of impossible. But we'll see. I've never really done this before.
Egypt. It sounds serious.
Rapid fire
Just
coaching.
a few ghosts I'm laying to rest. It's nothing to
Okay.
worry about.
They
Rhine.
always
We got
worry
Rhine
on
Anna.
you.
So because you have an
I trust
Anna,
you are doing what is right.
I'm going to hope that she can do most of the healing while you can maybe go for more DPS here.
Stop the payload.
Wait, there's some context. Moira game you had last night, DPS complained all game. You found more value in helping your tank, more value overall. When your Genji was relegated to card duty. I like that. Maybe I see why he was complaining. Shared with your tank and your other support. Unsure if I was right in the assessment. Maybe you should help DPS. Okay. We'll see. Good starting out. DPS orb.
In your debt.
Well. Okay, so poor play by your Rhine to drop there, but you could have gotten out sooner.
Hoi.
Like once you saw your Rhine was screwed, you had time there to escape. Although, you know, your entire team's regrouped. Never mind, everyone literally died at the same time, so that's fine. You died there because of your Rhine dropping and then getting anti'd. Nice fade. Good heal orb because you're low. Your Rhine getting anti'd is really affecting your ability to make space. So, their DPS are creating a ton of angles.
Got us outnumbered. Lucio coming at you.
Your end.
And the thing about being in this close corners with your entire team, yeah, is that their DPS are going to take those angles. And it's really hard to tell what's going on sometimes because you are on low ground as well. You don't have vantage points to see what's going on around you. Like their Widow is just suddenly appearing behind you. So let me just, whoa, whoops.
Misery made manifest.
Take a look at this first thing here. Wait, what? How did their Ashe just like suddenly appear there? Oh, she was hiding around the...
Misery made manifest.
Oh, that's their Widow. I was like, I thought their Ashe was shooting you there. Okay, so first thing I would take note of right here is who's shooting you. Like,
Be nourished.
you know someone shot you from left side. You get shot again by the Widow.
Big stinger
And you kind of panic that damage orb. You almost killed her. This is a little risky because going after the Widow, you know your team is going to need a lot of help. And unless you secure this kill, it's going to be pretty useless. So, I don't know. It's just a really hard situation when your team doesn't have any angles. Had a blackout. You called for the Widow behind, so you went for her.
Your end
Yeah.
is within my reach.
As the question is, if you stayed with your Reinhardt, somehow, would you have still maybe been able to win that? Probably not, honestly. Like, if their Widow is just free shooting you from behind, that's probably going to end up with your team losing anyway. I don't think your DPS were at all capable of dealing with that. So, until your team takes some space, you're not really going to be able to do much. Like, perhaps you do kill the Widow. Well, your whole team's dead anyway. Everyone's already screwed. Okay, you got Monkey. That's a good fade. It's because it's pretty safe. Dropping here is a little risky. You could have still been sucking that Sigma from high ground. We'll see what
That's
happens.
much better.
Pay attention to where your team is,
You need only ask for my help.
because you're gonna want to follow someone. Being by yourself is a little risky. You're with your Winston. Your team is really split. Your monkey's going in. I would follow my monkey there. But he gets antied again. At least you have your ultimate. Maybe something can happen. Their team is very susceptible to being coalescenced. Except now your entire team is dead again. So, I don't want to be mean to your friend, but I'm going to be honest and say your tank has fed 3 times in a row after getting antied. Maybe it's time to switch to Zarya. Maybe. Because without a tank, you're really not going to make any progress here.
Great minds are always persecuted.
Do something!
Oh god.
A taste of poison.
Yeah, he went in by himself, and I believe got antied again.
Team kill.
Reinhardt at your service.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I've dealt with cynics before.
Okay, let's see if he's learned it this time.
Stand behind me, friend.
Let's see if there's any progress. Because think about your options here. If your tank is always dead, what can you do? Like, the only option is to go for a backline coalescence and kill their entire team. Otherwise, you have absolutely no space. Because if you're going to try and frontline without a main tank against 2 snipers, you're dead. You're just dead. The only way to go against these snipers is to be literally behind them or on them. And you're not getting anywhere near that. And I guess with a perspective about the just general roles here, you notice how your DPS haven't got many kills either. You can think of it the same. You want to play Moira similar to how you'd play a DPS. So it would make sense that your DPS can't get kills here because they also don't have space. Like they're in the same position where their only option is to frontline without a tank or to take an off angle and maybe get a kill, but be in a vulnerable spot. So, yeah. So it's understandable that your DPS are having trouble getting kills.
You cannot escape me.
You're probably gonna ult here soon. I hope. Yes.
My will.
I would have ulted a little bit earlier, but this is totally acceptable. This is a really good sideline. Focusing down the Ana. She should die here. Okay, if your aim was a little bit better on that coalescence, the Ana would have died.
Heroes never die.
I'll just note that. You had the right idea targeting the Ana, but the execution wasn't perfect. It's a really good shatter. They did nano that guy. Okay, nice. Your Ryan's finally taking some space. You guys... Oh my god. Kill the Widow. Okay.
A cure for all the tales. Mending you.
Their Widow just kills 2 behind.
Your end is within my reach.
Keep you safe.
I think you're using a little too many healing resources. Like, after your Ryan is almost full health, you should start to go for some more right click there.
For the punch.
Also, this will enable you to not use as many healing orbs. So if you can get the healing done with just your left click, then you can get way more value through your damage orbs. They're gonna put a lot of pressure on the snipers.
My shield holds strong.
assistance. I'm with you.
I'd say, so with that damage orb on the Widow, I'd say try and aim the
Oh
orb.
my.
Just spend a little bit more time aiming your orbs. So you fired it directly at where she was, not really where she's going to be. So she's playing in a pretty vulnerable spot. Like, the only directions that this Widow is going to go is back. She's probably not going to go forward. So I would aim the orb just a little bit behind her instead of right at her. Think about where she's going to move to when the orb starts dealing damage. And then it can get more value from that.
Big style. I require assistance. I'm with you. My condition is improved.
Some decent damage there on the Ashe.
I offer something more. Eyes open now.
Okay, the Bob's gone. You can ult this.
To my will.
They're probably going to use the flex soon. But yeah, focusing down the Sigma. Ooh, focus. Okay. You
Pain is
were
inevitable.
focusing down Sigma, but then you kind of stopped focusing him for a second. I feel like he really nearly died there. Yeah, I could count probably like 1 or 2 seconds of your coalescence that wasn't being used on an enemy at all. Like, I'm listening for the tick sounds, and there was at least 1 or 2 seconds there where I didn't hear any tick sounds. I would really suggest just focusing on one target and sticking to them. You still gotta be careful the Widow that's behind you guys. She's getting a ton of value just by existing there. Not necessarily your job, but just not ignoring her.
Repairing your cellular
Ryan? Ryan? Oh no, this is bad. Yeah. You could have started healing your Ryan earlier there, but I don't think it would have mattered.
Now this is everything.
Toss damage orbs.
You will be
Yeah, you're holding onto your orb way too long here.
a taste of
You could have
poison.
thrown 2 damage orbs in the time it took you to throw that one. So, in general, with orb usage, you want to be firing that thing pretty much off cooldown. And if you have full healing resources, there's almost no reason to use a healing orb. So that was good, you use a damage orb there, but you can be using them more. Here's a decent healing orb. Let's look at where you used Fade. Because keep in mind, you should know that they had Flux. They haven't used they haven't used Flux, I think, all game. Or maybe they swapped off another hero, I forget, but it's been a while. So you can expect they're gonna have Flux here. Oh. Well, I mean, it looks like you just kind of forgot that you can't Fade Flux anymore or something. Your Ryan got a huge shatter. Okay, nice.
Supplying damage increase.
Still stuck on Overwatch 2-1. Yeah, it's just habit. Makes sense.
Heroes never die.
Into the iris.
I'm not really gonna talk too much about that death to the Zen because your entire team was gone. It was pretty much just you and the other healer.
Steel coming at you.
Surrender to my will.
I will say though, in relation to the death with that Zen, is it feels like sometimes you don't always take note of the important things that are happening during the team fights. So like during this exchange here, you should not have been focusing on damage when your Rhine is facing, I think, like 2 or 3 people down main. And you're the only support right now. Yeah, you should have been totally focusing your Rhine there. Like, even if you get the kill on the Echo, it's not going to matter because your entire team's going to be dead. So, if your entire team is pushing forward towards you, just pocket the Rhine, but through him, you can direct the Coalescence to get kills on their backline. So, leave the Echo alone for now. She's too off on herself. She's probably, I mean, perhaps you could anchor near your Rhine and still get the coalescence through him and the Echo, but that's difficult. No, the Echo was called out to you so you could help him focus. Oh, well, no one else was shooting her but you. Unlucky. So maybe she could have died faster, but
Oh my.
Team kill. Round 1 complete.
yeah, support, thanks for the follow.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Yeah, focus fire is a difficult thing in ranked games.
Initiating match.
People don't always want to listen.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
Must be done. Let it be done quickly.
Do you see that Sombra? Yeah. So you saw the Sombra come out of... She was detected for a moment. The moment you see that, you should kind of just be really aware that a Sombra might hack you soon. Because Moira is one of the few heroes that can pretty easily stop a hack from occurring. So the moment you saw that Sombra go walk behind you, I would have been just kind of like increase your APM a little bit so you're just like ready for it. So you can stop that hack. Interestingly enough, she didn't go for a hack. No, she hacked her soldier. Never mind.
Don't push me, but the payload secure.
You could have saved your soldier there. There's Sombra's being annoying.
Thank my medical professionalism, Doctor.
One thing I'm noticing that you could just improve generally is your actions per minute. This isn't something that's easy to improve at all, but like once the Sombra translocated out, there was maybe a half a second where you waited before turning around again. So just like try and increase these little the distances of time between doing the next thing, and you'll be able to provide more value to your team. Just more efficiently. Like another time with that soldier who was low HP and I said you could have saved him. Like if you were quicker, just in general with looking around at what needs to be done and doing it, you could have saved your soldier there. Like I think it's just an issue with slightly general game sense. Just be yeah. It's not easy because this requires a ton of intuition and practice, and it'll get better just the more you play. It's kind of that thing. It's not like you can just decide to do it. I think it just comes with practice.
A taste of poison.
Everyone, heal up.
I'll offer something more. You're broken. May I?
Good healing on the monkey there, but unfortunately he went in really far. Okay, you reset there. You're gonna have ultimate. They're gonna have some ultimates. I'd be looking at their EMP. It's been almost... Yeah, I'm kind of surprised their Sombra doesn't have EMP yet. But that's the one ultimate that's going to screw you up if they do have it.
Enemies detected.
What is it now? Meal of wigs.
Once again, you're holding onto your orbs a little bit too much. You could have thrown 2 damage orbs during that time. Very helpful, and it's not your gameplay. I'm glad. I never know how this stuff's going to be perceived, but I'm glad you like it. Nice fade. Ult. Okay. So, you're lucky that they... You sort of had an advantage here. So they used EMP, and you haven't ulted yet. So, all you have to do right now is just fade onto one of their enemies and target them with Coalescence, but still be aware of their Sombra possibly hacking you. Let's look at this again.
You cannot escape. Strength
So
becomes
kill their
mine.
Ashe. You get hacked. You're not getting focused. You fade. And here is where you just ult immediately and look back at their Sombra so that she can't hack you again. Because look at how much value you'd have gotten if you just ulted their Sombra right there. Excuse me, any more water? I don't usually talk this much. Okay, so there's Sombra EMPs. I'm presuming that she used her translocator to get there. So if you turn on her with Coalescence right now, it's likely that she's going to die. And their Kiriko also teleported over to you. So she can die to your Coalescence too. You could have gotten 2 kills right there and then switched over to maybe even killing their Ana.
Sistema comprometido.
It is slightly risky. Like, I think a lot of players when they might think of doing something like that, they're like, "Oh, I'm just going to end up dying." Well, you're not really going to know if it works until you go for a play like that. So just try it.
Time to push.
Oh, but yeah, you're just too scared to call because you think you might die. Yeah. I think that is something that holds a lot of players back, is that idea just like, oh, it's too risky. Well, if you don't try it, you're never going to know if it works. So, like, this is like a therapy session. Face your fears. No. It's like, a lot of people who are afraid to try things have this, like, a bias about what the situation is that's not correct. Like, you think it's going to not work out because different things are telling you it's not going to work out, but that's not actually the reality. This is really becoming a therapy session. Just like, your idea of what's going to happen isn't correct. So just go for it. Try something. And if it does work out, then your brain is going to learn that it can work sometimes. Maybe it'll fail. Maybe it does fail. And you're like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have gone for that. Does that mean it still couldn't have worked? No. It could have. Yeah, I don't know.
Who needs healing? You.
I must recharge. Hold on. Surrender to my
Dual
will.
visor activated.
Good focus on the Kiriko here. Hopefully she dies. Nice.
Resilience is lacking. A cure for all the days.
Seems like you're a little bit confused about what target you want to go after. Which is okay, but just take note of where their team is, because I feel like you could have gotten at least 2 kills with this ult.
Repairing your cellular makeup. Careful, we're outnumbered.
One way to have a better visual about where the people are is take a wider angle. So like, yeah, you had to kill the Kiriko there, but I don't know how to advise how you would do this. Before you use your ultimate, you want to be really deliberate about which targets you're gonna go after. So
A sip for the pouch.
let's see.
I must
There's a Sombra on your right
Hold on.
side. You know that. You've been looking at her this whole time. You can see the Ashe up here. Sigma, Kiriko.
A taste of surrender to
The
my
Kiriko
will.
drops, and that's when you decide to focus her. Now, you do see the Sombra here teleport out, and you don't instantly react. You could have killed her. That's kind of a quick thing, but she's really low. If you had just seen that she was here, maybe you could have flicked to kill her.
The payload is in our hands.
Like, I don't even know if you saw her there. But if you're constantly scanning, you would have. Going after the Kiriko is good, because you know that she used
Your resilience is lacking.
her Swift Step. And after you kill the Kiriko, you sort of stop trying to look for targets. Which, I mean, I just feel like you could have gotten more value. Because you're in a position where you can do more damage.
Your resilience is lacking.
Like, even right there, you saw the Sombra. And right after this. You kill the Kiriko.
Your
You
resilience
you
is
practically
lacking.
look at the Sombra. She was right there. You could have killed her again.
A cure for all the tales. Repairing your cellular makeup.
Anyway,
Careful, we're outnumbered. I require assistance.
60 seconds remaining.
What's that?
and if you don't get the if you don't get enough value going for a DPS ultimate like this, you'll realize that your tank is gonna crumble without that healing, without the healing. So if your ultimate, which is aggressive, doesn't get enough value as being a DPS ultimate, your tank is not going to be able to provide enough space to keep that going, usually. Or if you are going to go for a DPS ultimate, try to incorporate your tank somewhere in that mix. With that, it was kind of difficult because you went after the Kiriko in the close quarters area, but your Genji's standing still. Is he typing or something?
30 seconds.
And also, this
remaining.
isn't all on you. Like, your team is not doing that hot. Your DPS are not landing very many kills, if any. There is definitely space here. There was definitely space that last fight for your DPS to land some kills, and nothing happened.
I offer something more.
Like, they even have a mercy pocket on them. Oh, you could totally kill him. Oh, you could have killed that Sigma. You totally could have killed that Sigma. So instead of backing up here, you could have actually chased him. Yeah, you didn't even need to heal people there. Just look at this. Okay, your monkey dies. You're sucking him. You have a damage orb, but you're not using it. He does use his grip though, so I guess you're gonna hold on. But right now, with his grip, his thing is gonna end. So you toss a damage orb right now, and then it hits him right this instant, and he dies. But you waited like 2 seconds there to throw your damage orb, and now he's already healed up.
10 seconds remaining.
So just
Enough time.
realizing what abilities you have and using them a little sooner for that, especially in those moments where you see that an enemy is low like that. You don't want to get flamed by DPS for not healing again? Okay.
Weak.
Most of the time, your DPS have no idea what's going on. Do they, like, think about it. How on earth did they have any idea how you're playing? They're so focused on their own gameplay for most of the game that, like, you are the only one who has a first-person perspective of how you're playing. They don't have that. They're making a ton of assumptions about what's going on and why things are going wrong that it's not even worth listening to. So, while it sometimes hurts because they'll call you names and stuff, the reality of the game is they have no idea what they're talking about. So be confident in whatever you're doing. And even maybe they are right to some degree. Maybe you are starting to doubt yourself about stuff. That's okay. Just try and like, how do I phrase this? Like, no one plays perfectly. But for a teammate to go after another teammate for not playing well enough is just kind of, it doesn't help anything. There's no point in listening to it. I guess that's my main idea here. If it makes you play differently because you're afraid of someone saying something not nice, it's not going to help you climb.
Help me.
Nice fade.
Double
Be nourished. You could still be of use to me.
Catch you later.
Someone call?
Okay, so your Mercy used Valk, and your team just got a ton of damage off on the right targets there.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
right by you.
This is definitely a longer game.
You cannot escape me.
Actually, it's not really that long. It's just this map is long. Okay. Ult.
Surrender to my will.
Nice.
Such is the price.
That's fine. You got a pick. Hopefully you can kill the Kiriko here. Nice.
Tactical visor activated.
Oh wow.
Couldn't handle.
Your soldier actually did not need to ult there, but that's fine. So, of course I could mention that you could have cancelled the hack on the Sombra, but it's so fast, I don't even have the reaction time sometimes for that. Nice, I like that. Oh, this is where you win the fight with Genji on the cart. I mean, where he belongs. Where he belongs.
The barrier has fallen.
Enhancing your vitals.
Nice, that's good. I think you saved your soldier there.
You cannot escape me.
Good damage orb. Finishing up the Ana. It's taking you a little bit of time. This is just again with the APM thing. Why does my mic sound trippy? Well, sometimes if I talk too low, it'll cut out. I might want to fix that, or just like hold it higher. Yeah, if the mic is an issue, please let me know. Yeah, it's taking you a little bit long to find the next target. Not too long, but just you could be doing a little more work. Like I said before, just the whole APM stuff. Okay, nice, you got that kill.
Quantifiable results.
A welcome improvement.
Custom mono. I mean, I sort of have a monotone voice.
Big stanger.
Hello, thanks for the sub. Wait, that's a subscription. Thank you so much for the Prime hello. I appreciate that. Suddenly, you're on a platform. Good dodging behind the shield. I wouldn't have faded like that, but you managed it just fine. Good heal orb. Okay, you have ult here. Watch out for their EMP. So, I don't think you're ult tracking, which is fine. I mean, not everyone has to ult track, but especially if they have Sombra, she's gonna
Surrender to my will.
well, you literally ulted at the same time their Sombra did. That's unlucky.
There's more of them than us. Access to everyone. Heal up.
Barrier has been over.
Also, ult tracking isn't as hard as some people make it out to be. Like, just
Evolution is a painful
like maybe
path
every
to
now and
walk.
then just check in, like when did their Sombra last use her ultimate, and if it was over a minute, if it was over a minute ago or a minute and a half, then just assume that she has ultimate. Pretty much. I mean, maybe if you haven't seen her doing a ton of damage, then maybe she won't have it, but if you haven't seen an ult in a while, just expect it. And the good thing about Moira is a lot of ultimates on the enemy team, you don't really have to worry about too much. Like, they have Ashe, Moira, Sombra, Sig, Ana. The only ultimates that you really have to worry about are Sombra's and Sigma's. Like, like Ashe, Moira, Ana ult, those don't really pose an issue to you using your ultimate. So it simplifies it a little bit.
A taste of poison.
Ethical healing. Just in case.
Come get healed.
Systems hacked.
We need to get the payload moving again.
Big stanger lack.
60 seconds remaining.
I'm restored.
Heroes never die.
Should be playing a little farther forward. Where is there some? Oh, you should totally kill her here. Damage orb. Dead. Dead.
In my affairs.
Very nice. Nano Bob. I don't.
For the parched.
How did everyone die to Nano Bob? That's tragic.
You cannot escape me.
Thank my medical
The payload is approaching its destination.
Repairing your cellular makeup.
10 seconds remaining.
Receive my aid.
Everyone, heal up.
Yeah, pretty much that nanobob screwed your team over. After that, there was no hope, I would say. Like, both of your DPS died, and then they have a bunch of ults after that, and you're just 3 people on point, so yeah.
Hello there.
So, generally, not pretty good. I just think commit a little more. So if you have an idea about how to be aggressive in a certain situation with your ultimate, don't be as afraid to go for it. Ult tracking is definitely key here. There was 2 instances here where ult tracking would have really benefited your team. Having your ultimate available like that. Orbs are fine, healing resources fine. Generally, you could play a little more aggressive just in general with more right click. Stop listening to your DPS mains who are telling you to do more healing because you were honestly doing just fine. Like, they're just bad. Talked about coalescence. Stay on a single target when using coalescence, and then really plan out who your next target is going to be before you're onto them. So just like, so you don't even have to think about it. You can just switch back to the next target. Fade usage is good. Yeah, I did not see an issue with your fades. I don't think that's what you need to improve on. Thanks so much. Yeah, I hope it helped. Judging by some of the comments, I'm seeing that a lot of people are very happy about this. So this is my first time doing stuff like this, and I'm just glad people are responding well.